Countries will seek to present a united front in the coming days against U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs, likely approving a first set of targeted countermeasures on up to $28 billion of U.S. imports from dental floss to diamonds. Such a move would mean the European joining China and Canada in imposing retaliatory tariffs on the United States in an early escalation of what some fear will become a global trade war, making goods more expensive for billions of consumers and pushing economies around the world into recession. Reacting to the U.S. stock market stumbled after the imposition of retaliatory tariffs, U.S. President Donald Trump said that he did not want anything to go down, but sometimes you had to take medicines to fix up things. U.S. President Donald Trump posted that they had massive financial deficits with China, the European Union, and many others. He asserted that the only way to cure this problem was with the tariffs, which he claimed were now bringing tens of billions of dollars into the USA. He stated that these tariffs were already in effect, and a beautiful thing to behold, claimed that the surplus with these countries had grown during the presidency of sleepy Joe Biden. He declared that they were going to reverse it and reverse it quickly. He concluded by saying that someday people would realize that tariffs for the United States of America were a very beautiful thing.
Total of $585 billion. U.S. duties on copper, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, and timber from the EU are likely still to come. The European Commission, which coordinates EU trade policy, will on Monday propose a list of U.S. products to hit with extra duties in response to Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs. But among EU members, there are differing opinions on how to respond. France has said the EU should work on a package going well beyond tariffs, with President Emmanuel Macron suggesting European companies suspend investments in the U.S. until, quote, things are clarified. Ireland, almost a third of whose exports go to the U.S., has called for a considered and measured response. And Italy, the EU's third largest exporter to the U.S., has questioned whether the EU should hit back at all. The initial EU counter-tariffs will be European Union countries will look to present a united front against U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs, likely approving retaliatory tariffs on up to $28 billion of U.S. imports. The move, expected in the coming days, would tax a range of U.S. goods, from dental floss to diamonds. By doing so, the EU would join China and Canada in imposing retaliatory tariffs, potentially escalating a global trade war that could make goods more expensive for billions of consumers and push economies around the world into recession. The 27-nation bloc faces 25% import tariffs on steel, aluminum, and cars, and as of last week, reciprocal tariffs of 20% for almost all other goods. Trump's tariffs cover some 70% of the EU's exports to the U.S., which last year were worth a total...
Pain in the market. At some point, you're unwilling to tolerate this idea of a Trump put. Is there a threshold?
I think your question is so stupid. I mean, I think it's I don't want anything to go down. But sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
In the market, at some point you're unwilling to tolerate this idea of a Trump put.
That's the wrap of the bulletin.